Hello, everyone. uh, excuse me. Okay, I was hoping she wouldn't do that. Stephanie Romer here with author of Quieting the Clock, a memoir of a girl facing death and chasing freedom. And my cat, who wants to go outside, but she's not allowed. So she likes to visit me and hang out with me during the day because everybody else gets to go outside but her. So first, let's address my hair. It was all good until I started doing this video, my practice video, and it was like, had all these things flying up in the air. So then I put lotion, and that was not a good idea. So now it looks like I'm dirty, but I'm not. Anyway, so one of the questions I wanted to address that I'm getting is this book recommended for teenagers? And if so, okay, come here. If so, or if not, what ages? And so I would, sometimes we feel like she's preparing us for motherhood, for parenthood. She is like a toddler. She cries all the time, wakes us up all through the night crying just to hang out and talk. And she's just very, she's very needy, but it's hilarious and really cute. So sorry about that. I'm just going to keep going with this though. So I have some notes. So the subjects that I want to make sure that you understand are covered in this book. Let me go ahead and read the very, very first page besides the table of contents, which is the trigger warning. And it says, this book consists of repeated medical traumas and sexual abuse involving a minor. Included are detailed descriptions of mental torture, sexual language, vulgar language, drug and alcohol abuse, and violence. Not recommended for children. So as far as what age child, I do recommend that is kind of dictated by you as the parent or caregiver or teacher. And I suggest that you read it first, especially if it's under 14, I would say. But even between like 11 and 14, I don't know, just use your judgment. So so the main subjects covered are bullying, fighting, being a burden and left out, or feeling like a burden and left out, which is huge throughout the book. And it's a huge topic that I have always felt, and it comes from having CHD. And that starts at very, very young age, besides teenage years. So teenage hormones and not listening to authority figures, which there's a lot to that. I might make just a separate video on that. ADHD, starting period with CHD, and how that looks a little bit different than a healthy girl having a period, because we're on blood thinners, and there's just a lot to it. So there's just a couple things in the book about it. Self-mutilation and suicide, cigarettes, drugs, and alcohol beginning at a very young age, sexual abuse and grooming process of being abused and what that looked like in my personal situation. Going through different adolescent phases I call masks. Detailed descriptions of medical traumas. And so I wanted to read an excerpt. Still working on that word, excerpt. Okay, hold on. So this is actually referring to 4th grade. So that's about, I think, 11-ish years old, 10, 11, something like that. Back in 4th grade, the girls had to start taking 1 week of classes a year during school that taught us about our bodies and periods. This stuff always confused me. I'd look at the uterus model and think the pelvis looked like a dinosaur skull at the museum, wondering if that was seriously inside of my body. And if so, I didn't want to know what this weird contraption did, just like my stupid, confusing, messed up heart. Anything medical would immediately trigger me, and I'd check out into a daydream-like state. During these preteen girl anatomy classes, I'd get lost in my mind's escape, thinking about things like Jurassic Park and other animals or movies that resembled these weird body parts while twisting and chewing on my hair. So that's just a simple little flashback in the midst of my teen years while I believe this is where I'm sitting in a sex ed class, I believe in 6th grade, and then I kind of have a flashback to 4th grade and explain my experience with that. So just so you know, I know the trigger warning is a little scary maybe. It's because I want you to know, it's because I want everyone to know the extent, like the worst of the worst that's in this book, right? Now, there's a lot of cool stories in there that are very relatable to CHD and other disabled or chronic illness or chronically ill children and parents that I think are really going to just be relatable. And yeah, and there's sadness and there's joy and there's laughter. And then once we get into the sexual abuse stuff, it changes me, obviously, when I start growing up, because it started when I was 5. So you do get those first few years of just, I don't want to tell you too much, but just me being a kid. So, but I just wanted to give you guys as much description as I can without telling you too much. And I hope to be doing a reading or some sort of book club and gathering at least once a month so that everybody can get together. For part 1, I'll do one night, and then for part 2, I'll do another night, just so that we can make sure we are on the same page. And so if you are in part 1, then you can join me in the discussion and just be able to have a little bit of a Q&A for a few minutes. And then from there, I hope you can enjoy my story, and I hope that you can learn a lot from my book and my story. So, all right. Well, thank you very much. I apologize for the interruptions with my little kitten. And I look forward to your feedback. Also, I was going to throw in there to please remember to do Amazon reviews. So Amazon reviews specifically will put me in the running for best-selling book. So I appreciate so much the Facebook messages and the Facebook comments and sharing. I highly recommend that as well. If you could also go over to the Amazon page and write just a little something, the more reviews that Amazon can, the algorithm of what Amazon uses, the more that it will enhance my chance in the running for best-selling author. So best-selling book. All right. Bye, guys.